Dawn, and I would like to welcome you to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I make homemade cleaning cloths to use around the house out of my husband's old white t-shirts. We donate what we can, but when it comes to a t-shirt that has maybe stains on it, it's been used, well loved, we don't donate them, but instead of just throwing them away, I found that they make really great cleaning cloths. I use these cleaning cloths for all sorts of tasks around the house, from cleaning my silver to fiddle leaf figs, which I actually did a video of before. I will post the link below so you can watch that. If you like and subscribe to this channel, you can see more videos like these. And I even make little cloths to clean eyeglasses and keep around the house. So I will show you how to maximize the use and get the most out of this t-shirt, the most amount of cleaning cloths, and different sizes for different tasks. All right, so let's get started. I'm first going to show you the lines I'm going to cut. So I'm going to turn it your way. So this is the t-shirt. I'm gonna lay it flat. I'm gonna try to straighten out the seams a little bit. Things always get twisted up, it seems like in the laundry, so as straight as you can get. So first I'm going to cut armpit to the bottom. And then I'm gonna cut this armpit down to the bottom. And this is optional, but for me, I like to get rid of all the seams because I do use these cloths on really fragile things such as eyeglasses or scratchable surfaces. So for me, I just don't have any cloths with seams on them in case I grab that one when I go to do that task. But totally optional. If you're just dusting around the table or your bookshelves, you're fine. So for me, I'm gonna cut this to this first. All right, so let me begin. I'm gonna lay this out. I'm going to start on the right side. I'm right-handed, it's easy. And then I'm going to cut along this seam on one side of the seam. If I cut through the middle of the seam, I just have to go back and cut the seam off anyway. So I'm just going to cut right to the side of that seam. Just wanted to show you. Okay. And you know, they don't have to be perfect cuts. It's not a beautifully wrapped present. It's not wrapping paper. It's something that's going to be used to dust, and if it gets ruined, such as polishing silver, you throw it away anyway. I do wash them and reuse them though when I can. So now I have cut this open, this seam open, and I'm just going to go along the other side, the back side, and cut off the seam on this side. So we'll just get that seam out. Okay, so I've cut from the bottom to the top, and it now opens. So I cut the seam out. We don't have to worry about that. I'll just cut it off right now so it's not in our way. And then I'm gonna go and do the other side. So the same thing. I'm gonna cut from armpit down to the bottom on one side of the seam. And then I'm going to cut on this side. Now I have these seams removed. One's a little stubborn, doesn't want to come off. Okay. And so now I'm going to cut from side to side. So I'm going to go armpit to armpit, just straight across. Okay. So now I have what I would say are the kitchen towel size cloths. I use these for things like dusting tables and bookshelves, bigger tasks where you just need a bigger cloth. I'm just going to cut off this seam. For these, I don't really need to. I might actually leave them on because I wouldn't use these things typically for anything that's super small and fragile. So I'm just going to leave those, but you can cut off that bottom seam. To me, this is a great dusting towel. 2 of those. So now I have what looks like a crop top. We're going to make some more out of this. I'm first going to go straight down and straight down. So I'm going to cut on the inside of the seam. Okay, now I'm going to cut this arm off on this side. Just gonna match up the seams so they're basically in the same place. And you know, I did just sharpen my scissors. These are older scissors. I just used my knife sharpener that comes in a typical knife block set and give them a quick sharpen. I could have sharpened a little bit more. Also, if you have fabric scissors, they work really great. We'll cut right through it. So now I have this piece right here. So we have a double layer, and then I am just gonna cut straight down here and make 2 cloths that size, and then make a small cloth in the middle. Basically getting rid of the neck, the yoke. So I'm just gonna cut the yoke off. And on this side, just getting rid of seams. Okay. All right, so now I have this, and I can cut straight down, and I'll have 2 pretty good rectangular size cloths. I use these a ton, especially for cleaning little silver projects, or like I said before, my fiddle leaf figs. They're such a handy size for. You can double them over. They just are great. I guess if you're a really good recycler, you could also use them as little hankies, but and again, like, I just don't feel bad if I use these and then throw them away after a dirtier task, such as cleaning and polishing darker things like a brass or silver. So now I have all of those, and then I have this size. So I'm going to make 2 smaller ones. And this is the perfect size for me. Either this size or cut in half again to put all over. I put them in my office, off my kitchen for my glasses, or in my drawer, or my purse. You can leave them this size, perfectly fine. I think I'm gonna cut mine again in half, just for, again, to put around the house or in my eyeglass cases. Okay, now I'm gonna cut kind of the bib part off. I guess if you had a child, you could have left this connected and used it as a baby bib. So I'm just gonna cut straight across here, right below the seam again. And then I'm going to probably leave this one this size. I do kind of like that size. I can fold it over, I can use it, it fits in the hand really well. So I'm gonna have, so to summarize, I have basically 2 bigger cloths. And then I have, and I could have done 2 of these, but I cut one in half. So I have that size, this size, and a couple little teeny sizes, which are so handy. I've only wasted this much of the shirt. That's just all I've not wasted, but not utilized. Now I have 2 of the little angel wings. We're gonna just see what we can get out of these. I, of course, want to get rid of the armpit area. It's just not necessary. And cut that off. And then I have this shape right here. So for me, it looks like a little hat. For me, I'm just gonna go in here along the seam. You can do whatever you want at this point. It depends on the size you're looking for. If you're looking for a smaller size like this over here, you could make 2 or 3 out of this. I'm just gonna straighten this out a little bit by squaring it out. That's all I'm doing, just squaring it out. And up the side, and then over. So I'm just getting it to be somewhat square, rectangular actually. Okay, so I have all the seams off. I'm just gonna toss that. And now I have this cloth. For me, that's great. It's kind of like another in between this size and this size, but you can cut them in half. You could cut it in half and make 2 more this size. Up to you. I think I'm gonna throw it in that stack. And lastly, I have my last little angel wing. We're just gonna cut off the really well-loved armpit area and straight up there. Cut off the seam. This time I'm just doubling over to go a little faster. Depends on the strength of your scissors. That seems to be fine. Okay, so now I have, I'm just gonna go straight down, and I'm gonna make 2 little guys this size. For me, I just want one more set of small little hand-sized towels. Okay, seam down there. And then I'm just gonna go in half. So they don't have to be perfect. They're literally gonna be used for tasks around the house and sometimes thrown away, otherwise just thrown in the wash and used over and over. Okay, so at this point, I have a few different sizes laying in front of me, and the way you cut may be different than me. It really depends on how the shirt lays and what you get out of it. I really just try to get as much out of it so I waste as little as possible. So right now I have probably 4 or 5 of the small size, which again are kind of little hanky sizes. They're great for your desk drawer, your sunglass case, because they're small and slim enough to fit in those spaces, and they're so soft. I personally use them all the time. This size is really good for polishing, especially my silver or brass, and they're small enough that I can double it over, for instance, and use one side, then flip the other side. And then I can kind of like get in little spaces. So I really do use those sizes when I do polish and things like that. This size is just good for whatever. It's like a little washcloth. This, I said would be a really great for me. Dust cloth, just grab it and dust, you know, any soft surface, go over your tables, that kind of thing. But for me, I'm having a friend over for tea this week, and so I actually pulled out some silver to polish that was a little neglected during the move and needs a little attention. So for me, I find this really great for like my teacups, teapots, that kind of smaller, but a little bit, we need a bigger size than this. Okay, I'm gonna cut this again into 4. And you know, by the way, I have another video where I used one of my cleaning cloths, just like this size, to clean my fiddle leaf figs. So if you would like to see that, I'll actually post a link below to that video so you can see how I use that. It's just super handy. Cut in half. And once again, cut in half. And this isn't a bad size either, honestly, for a big teapot, but I think I really want 4 more washcloth size, really manageable. And that way, if I do get it dirty, I use the whole thing and I toss it. I didn't toss twice as much. Okay, so we have 4 of these plus the one I did before, so 5 altogether. They're sticking to each other. 5 of those, and I did keep one just big dust cloth. And if I change my mind later, I have something to work with still before I go hunting down more of my husband's old t-shirts. Okay, there you have it. And this is all we didn't use, not a whole lot. Pretty much the seams are the only remnants. And think about how many cloths you got. And again, when I go to use this to clean my silver this week to polish, I'm not gonna feel badly if I have to just throw it away because it's so dirty. Where if I had just purchased a new microfiber cloth or something else and tossed it, I'd feel bad. So I think it's really great. These were gonna be probably thrown away anyway. It's not something we could donate. So it's just one great way to get one reuse out of it, or several if you can wash them. When I do go to polish my silver, I'll actually do a video and show you how I do use these to polish silver. So I hope you join me for that. Thanks for joining me on this project. I hope you found it useful. Who doesn't have an old t-shirt sitting around that can be reused and recycled? It feels good to not waste. And also they're just the softest, best little go-to cloths. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll include more videos like this of useful household tips.